a million years.
And I bet we'll be together for a million more.
Oh, it's like I started breathing on the
Yeah. And I can't remember what I ever did before.
What would we do, baby, without us?
Come on now.
What would we do, baby, without us? And there ain't no nothing we can love each other through.
I don't know the words.
What you do, baby?
I know this though.
Sha-la-la-la.
Yeah, that's what it is. Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, look, back once again for another episode of, I guess, whatever we gonna call it. But something was brought to me just recently. My daughter Lydia had a basketball game yesterday, and at this basketball game, the opponents that we were after or that we were playing from this particular school were hood, and that's kind of what the consensus was. Now you can say that that's either good, bad, or indifferent. But my opinion is being hardcore on the basketball court and just being completely ignorant are two separate things. There's a difference between home training and going hard on the court, right? So in my opinion, this is what we're going to talk about today. Home training versus hood. So here's what I'm going to say. So hood can come in a varied amount of things. Like, for instance, this thing with Akib and Michael Crabtree. Now that was pretty hood, right? But in the sense of what hood really means in that context was last year he took his chain. He took his chain, and if you didn't do anything about that at that point, then bruh, like, you just can't come back the next year, wait a whole year, and then punch old boy in the stomach, and then get your chain snatched again, and then start pushing them all to the ground. Like, you should have done that the first time, so you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion. Now, at the game that my wife was at, these two ladies in the back were just going like legit, like just in on the kids, and to me, that stinks of no home training. Like, look, I get talking noise at the game, going hard, for your team or whatever, but like, there's a way to do that without being obnoxious and without being completely out of control and being hood. So the girls on the court didn't have any home training because they, calling the girls, effing B's and N words and all this other kind of stuff. And what bothers me the most is that the school is literally 10 minutes away from where we live at right now. And nowhere in this neighborhood is it hood. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? So that's more home training than anything else. If you go out to a public restaurant and you sit down and you order steak and fries, home training tells me that I don't pour ketchup all over my fries in a public place. Right? It says that I don't take my steak and my bread and try to jam them into another bread in order to have a steak sandwich in a restaurant. That's home training, right? So I have this hard time watching some of these kids learn from some of these parents how to act, because that's really what's going on, is the parents reflect what the kids are doing. So if you doing a lot of cussing at home and you do a lot of going in on people all out in public, what do you think your kids are going to do? Now, I think that you can still be a man or be a woman and stand up for yourself, but it's the delivery of the message that you give, right? You don't have to do all the neck rolling and all that. You can still be very professional in whatever setting it is. Now, of course, if it's at a basketball game, you can still cheer for your team, but you can erase all of the cussing and the just buffoonery that tends to go on at some of these games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. My sons play football and basketball, they do it, and I'm like, let's go, Matthew. But like, that's the extent of it. You know what I mean? And that energy feeds into fights, feeds into animosity, feeds into let me catch you out. It's a game. It's JV basketball. Nobody's going to the WNBA and NBA, the NFL tomorrow, right? So, like, calm down. Have some home training, man. I promise you that most of these people that I would get that education. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely get the education, because that's pretty much what's going to, take the kids from playing football to, a successful career in whatever the field, that they choose. So I talked to one of my daughter's friends, and she was like, she is a superb athlete. She plays soccer. She plays track. I think she was going to play basketball, but she changed her mind. But she said, oh no, I'm getting an academic scholarship. You want to know why that's so important? Why I think that's so outstanding is because they're not relying on something that could go away. Not saying that tomorrow you could die. Nobody's promised tomorrow. I get that. But there's a better bet that you could have an educational scholarship rather than a sports scholarship. You could get all the way to college and blow your knee out. They're not going to keep you on scholarship, with a blown out knee. That's just real. So I said all that to say, the environment that these kids are growing up in sometimes can breed, paying too much attention to something that possibly is never, ever going to happen, right? So home training, environment, and choices are all going to come into that. So I don't know if these two ladies behind my wife and all of this really understood that what they were projecting, their kids may have been embarrassed, but they can't say that to they mama when they get home. You know what I'm saying? Because that's their mama. So a lot of what I think happens at some of these games is that, like, the energy is so like, oh, I just want my baby to get that scholarship and go to a good school and become a superstar and make all this money. But nobody said, I want my daughter or son to go to school and get that education and exceed in high expectations for math and science and get academic scholarships, because academic scholarships are guaranteed. The only way you can mess up an academic scholarship is not keep your grade point average up, right? You cannot, you don't keep your grade point average up. It's a wash after that, right? So that's just what I'm saying. You gotta have home training, people. It doesn't make any sense for you to come to the basketball game with pants on too tight, your hair not done, and you being the one screaming and hollering at the back of the deal at your kid, and everybody's looking at you. we not here for you. We here for the kids to watch the basketball game, right? And then the school allows them to play. Now, look, now anybody that knows me knows I love hip hop. Don't get it twisted. But again, it has its place. And I don't know if I want to be at a basketball game and start hearing, F you, blah, 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 boo, 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 as the basketball game is going on. That's just, or not while it's going on, while they're warming up. They're not grown yet. We're not in the NBA yet. And the NBA don't even have, music on where people are cussing up a storm and all this other kinds of these are JV kids. They're 14 and 15-year-old kids. It's not grown up. So the school itself was just out of control, no discipline whatsoever. Not saying that our school has a lot of discipline. I'm just telling you what I saw. And so they just didn't have any home training. Home training to me is when you go out to a sporting event, you put on decent clothes. I didn't say you got to get dressed up. You brush your teeth, you do what you do, and you come and you cheer for your kid, you cheer for your kid's team, and the parents kind of sit up in the stands, and there's not going to be a whole lot of animosity. Now, granted, it's a rivalry game, but we can still all have a good time, even it being a rivalry game. We just got to be civilized, and that's all I'm saying. If you have some home training, you can actually be civilized and still, have some fun. So, to all the people out there, watching, hey, Sarah, Greg, I see y'all. Thank y'all for watching. I have no name for this new thing I'm doing. I'm just doing it. But today's topic was home training versus hood, and I could tell you, I'm sort of from the hood, but not really. We grew up in an environment where the hood was around, the ghetto was down the street, and there was a lot going on. And so this game yesterday, my daughter is underneath, and they're on the free throw line, and the girl is slapping at her hand on the free throw line. The ref had to blow the whistle and be like, yo. But I was very proud of my daughter at the fact that she didn't back down. But the rest of the kids were very intimidated. And sometimes, it happens, but the coach screaming and hollering at them is not going to, make them do anything better. Some kids are just going to shut down, right? So again, that's home training. And I personally would have delivered that message a little different. You know what I mean? Hey, they're just kids. They're the same kids as you. They might be a little rougher, but you still got to play basketball. And it's just like anything else. You still got to get up in the morning. You still got to put your pants on. You still got to go to work. Got to pay them bills. Doesn't matter how you do it. You still got to go do it. So that's probably what I would have said. So yesterday was just all kind of. It was a good game. They got beat down pretty bad at JV, but the varsity squad won. And I think that, our kids had the etiquette to, say good game and not be trying to wait out in the parking lot for people. What's up, Steven? I hadn't seen you in a minute, baby. What's up, baby? So, home training versus hood. I mean, Steven knows Steve from the hood, but we all had mamas, right? Ain't no way in the world my mom would let me walk out of the house with talking crazy to people because I would have some stuff to answer for, right? So, holy moly, people, have some etiquette. And if you want your kids to be better, then you be better. I'm not saying we're perfect. But I'm saying you have to give the example. You can't go to the basketball game and act like you 16 again because you miss high school. If you miss high school, I suggest that you probably might want to try to go back. I'm just saying, you can't relive your own kid's dream at the basketball game, and I think that's kind of what happened. And that was just no home training. So Anyway, that's the end of my, second episode spiel. Starting off with a little Johnny Mathis and what was it? Denise Williams, Family Ties. I used to watch Family Ties. I'm just saying, I love that show, and I love that theme, and I love the last part, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la. Anyway, so yeah, second episode, we gonna do it just like this. Like I said before in the previous one, I'm just gonna pick a range of topics, and then I'm just gonna go and start talking, and that's how it's gonna go down. So today's topic was home training versus hood. And look, I'm not hood. I got home training. I'm from the hood. But if you get at me, I'm going to defend myself. A great man once said, there isn't no shame of going out and getting your behind beat, but there is a bunch of shame in not fighting at all. And I would just like for y'all to keep fighting, keep moving forward, keep progressing, because that's what's life about. Learn something every day, and hopefully we'll meet on the other end. Anyway, that's it for my neck of the woods here in lovely Fredericksburg, Virginia. In my house, in my office, I would show you the rest of it, but it is an absolute mess right now. Today, we're going off. Matthew has a track game. Christopher's got a parade to go to, so he had to dress up into, his uniform. And Lydia's in the parade as the color guard, so we're going to have some fun. We're going to be out all day long. So I hope y'all have a fun Saturday. If you're working retail, I love you. I feel you. I got you. I get it. This is probably the only weekend I'm going to have off in probably a month. So I get it. It's Christmas time, so I'm going to enjoy this weekend. I'm off today and tomorrow. So we might get another one tomorrow. I'm just saying, oh yeah, it's going to be cold, Sarah. It's going to be cold. It's going to be real cold. So I got to get that jacket on. But other than that, I will see y'all in a bit. Y'all have a good time. Peace out and enjoy the rest of your day.